So we have talked about, you understand what is planning, you understand what is manufacturing, you understand what is SAP process flow. Now let's talk about what kind of master data it will require. Now, I would let you know one thing, that the SAP process, the SAP PP process is very master data intensive process. Master data, it's called that, okay, the end user need to create the master data, but actually your design, your production planning design, 60 to 70% depends on the master data, 30% depends on the configurations. 60 to 70% will, how the process will go would be defined by the master data in PP. QM, PP 60%, QM even 70 to 80% is defined and controlled by the master data. So master data, there's a lot of master data. First, as a consultant, you need to understand, and then you can say that it's called master data, but I call it as a key settings. It's not configuration, but it's a key settings. If you change the key settings, the full process will change. If in the master data, in the material, you change the MRP type, full planning process change. If you change your production planning strategy, not only the planning, your execution process also get changed. Okay. If the repetitive manufacturing profile has been maintained, it's changed to full repetitive manufacturing process. Okay. So make to stock, make to order, repetitive, Kanban, everything or most of the things would be controlled through the master data. So master data is very important. So as a consultant, first you need to have a good grip on the master data, and then you need to explain to the end user so that they understand, grasp the knowledge, and on a longer term, they would be able to maintain correct settings. So what would be coming in the master data? Answers on the chat window. Question to you. What kind of things you think would be coming in the master data? So in the master data, you would be having material master. Let me make it a little bigger for you. So people are commenting. Customer, vendor, machine. Okay, we will stick to the production. Customer is a master data, vendor is a master data, but we'll stick that in production. What kind of master data is required? So you will require material master. You will require bill of material. Okay. You will require work center. You will require routing. Different terminologies are there. Okay, don't get confused. You will require a production version.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Bill of material, work center, routing, production version. Yeah, these are the things which you will require. BOM, routing, production version, work center. Yes, everybody's correct. That's correct. So material master. Okay, so material master is basically your product. If you want to produce something, you need to have a product available, right? Now, the most complex things, okay, even I will bet you that we said that end user need to maintain material. 60%, there's no consultant who would be knowing each and everything about material master, because material master has so many fields, so many different consultants need to come together so that all the information is rightly maintained in the material master. Let me give you a quick view. What do we mean by material master? So we are producing this, right? So this is material SG124. So in this one, you can see that when I double click on this material, it went into the material master, and so many different views are there. So PP guy would be maintaining MRP1, MRP2, MRP3, MRP4, work scheduling. This would be done by the PP consultant. Then accounting one, costing two would be done by your FICO consultant. Plant data 1, plant data 2, storage 1, 2, and your purchasing would be MM consultant. Basic data can be between the MM or PP consultant. They would be responsible to maintain basic data. Sales organization data by SD consultant. Your WM consultant would be maintaining its own views, right? So different consultant need to maintain different views, and within the PP also we say 5 views, but that 5 views would be having easily 100 key fields which you need to understand and explain to the end user what is going to happen. What is going to happen if I don't put the production scheduling profile? What is the production supervisor doing here? What will happen if I maintain some another storage location here? These all things you need to understand it. This would be governing your full process. When you put the production storage location here, your good receipt has been happened based on the defined storage locations automatically. Okay. If the serial numbers you need to use when you produce a material, every car you produce, you should be having a one specific serial number would be given to that. Then you need to configure serial numbers profile and you need to assign the serial number profiles here. So there are so many things in the master data. Okay, so this is the master data. Then we have a bill of material. Now, what is bill of material? Now, bill of material is, now let me explain it here to you. You would be having, let's say, I gave you example that we want to produce soap, which is a case, soap case you want to produce. Now, to produce soap case, what do you require? You need soap bars, right? You need a corrugated box. You need a shrink wrap. So basically, this is a packing operation. Those would be required. So now maybe this you will directly procure, this you will directly produce, but the soap bars you will be producing it, right? So to produce soap bars, what do you require it? To produce soap bars, you will require soap packs under which you will packing it. Some poly sheets would also be used for packing. And then, so this is soap bar. This is, I would say, the packed soap bar, right? And you will require a soap bar. Now to finally prepare a soap bar, what are the things you will require? To prepare a soap bar, you would be requiring another materials. You will require soap noodles. Okay, you will require soap noodles. You will require some fragrances. You will require some color. Just example. And then to produce this soap noodles, what do you need? Maybe you need palm oil. Other things also, but I'm just mentioning here. Now this structure is called bill of material. Okay, this would be one particular bill of material, this linkage of this material to this material, and then linkage of this material to this material would be another bill of material, and then a linkage of this soap bar to these materials would be your another set of bill of material. So this is bill of material, that how one component links to another. To produce a soap bar, to one soap bar, how many soap noodles you will require. Okay, if it's 100 gram soap bar, you will require, let's say, 95 grams or 99 grams of soap noodles, or maybe more than 100 grams because the wastage would be there, right? So based, if you also consider wastage, maybe it would be the 105 grams of soap noodles would be required. 1 gram of fragrance would be required. So it would be not be in that smaller. So when you maintain a bill of material will not maintain for one soap bar, you can say that for produce 1000 soap bars, how much of soap noodles, how much of fragrance, how much of color is required. That is called the bill of material. I have, how many levels of bill of material I have said? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 levels of bill of material. Believe me, in the complex industry, the bill of material can be 100, 200 level also. 200 levels of bill of material can be there. aerospace industry, they would be in very deep level of bill of materials, very complex bill of materials. Right? So this is the bill of material. Now in this bill of material, how the planning is going to happen. Let's say if you want to plan for the soap noodles. Now soap noodle is a dependent material. It's depending on the soap bar. Now the soap bar is also depending. Soap noodles are depending on the soap bar. Soap bar is depending on the packed soap bars. Packed soap bars is depending on the soap case. So you do your planning at the higher level. You would be saying that how many number of soap cases I want to sell it. Based on that, when you do the MRP run, it will find out the BOM. If say that, okay, if you want to sell 100 cases of soap bars, I need 100 cases of soap cases. I need 5,000 soap packed soap bars. System will calculate it. Then I need 5,000 soap bars. Right? And then to produce 5,000 soap bars, I would be requiring some, let's say, 5 tons of soap noodles. So the dependent requirement will come that how much of soap noodles actually we require it. Then system will check how much we have, how much of existing production orders are there, how much is shortage. For that shortage, system will create another set of planned orders, right? So I'm giving a screenshot of this to you. Putting it here. What is bill of material? Now coming to work center. Okay, before I come to work center, let me show you the bill of material and system also. So what we have seen here in the components, this is your bill of material. SG124 is linked with RM124. It's the master data is automatically copied in the here. So if you want to see the bill of material for this, we can go to transaction/OCS03. This is the bill of material transaction. And here I can put it here, SG124 material, plant 1710, BOM usage 1. And say that to produce this material, I need 100 pieces. So I can go into the headers and I can check that to produce 100 pieces of SG124, I would be requiring 100 pieces of raw material. Okay, so this is just a one level example bill of material. The bill of material can be very complex. So this is the best practice data. You can see that this is the best practice master data. It cannot be copied anywhere. The copying cannot be done because just to practice in the system. So when actually you need to create a bill of material, you're from scratch, you need to create this bill of materials need to be defined here. All these materials need to be defined first, and then the linkages need to be defined and bill of material need to be created. Now let's go to the work center. What is work center? Work center is a group of machines. Okay, it's a single machine or a group of machines are called the work center. The work center is the one thing on which you need to process your materials, right? If I go into the screen and if we see our production order, in production order, if I go into the operations, you can see that I have two work centers. This mechanical processing and QM check. I can double click on the work center. Work center would also be having a lot of master data, which will be defining how the scheduling is going to happen, how the capacity is going to happen, how the costing is going to happen. It has a strong link between CO, controlling, and a PP. Okay, so that all data would be defined here under the machine data. Now, our functional consultant need to also work on to come over an understanding by discussing with finance team and the production team what is a work center, whether an individual machine would be work center, or whether a group of machine who is identical in nature and working on one process, or a complete line would be one work center. Okay, it should not be too granular and it should not be too very high level that 100 machines you created as a work center. Generally similar kind of machine doing a similar operation, contributing to produce in a similar kind of products are combined together. A line has been, different machine in the line has been combined together, and that has been created as a work center. So work center is nothing, machine or a group of machines. A lot of technical data would come. It took me around more than 4 hours to discuss about work centers and explanation of these things when we went into the actual training. Okay. So this is the work center. Now, what is the routing? Now, what data which we have seen here, if I go one step, now the two work center need to be combined together. Okay, these two work center need to be combined together to produce this one. So routing is a set of operations, set of different machines need to be used to produce one thing. If I want to produce SG124, I need to do the machining in one work center or in one machine. In another machine, I need to do the QM checks. So two machines need to be used. There can be 10 machines or maybe one machine, but different steps would need to be done on that. So there can be different operations, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, multiple different operations, mixing operation. Then once the mixing is done, preheating, once preheating is done, final heating, and then converting from one vessel to another vessel. These all can be part of operations. Okay. So that would be the operations. That is basically your route.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
What is production version? Production version is combination of your routing. So work center is gone inside your routing. Work center is used inside the routing, and routing and bill of material, the combination of these things, routing and bill of material together would be creating a production version. So basically you would be assigning a production version to a material, and based on that you will be identifying that which bill of material need to be used and which routing need to be used. We'll discuss more in the master data chapter. Work center does not define that which is finished, which is semi-finished, or which is raw material. Material master would be defining that which is finished goods, which is semi-finished goods, and which is raw material. It's not the work center. Okay, so these would be the key master data. It looks very simple, but believe me, okay, if you have a very good and strong hand only on the master data, you are done as a consultant, especially PP consultant. A lot of places a PP consultant, specific PP consultant, we put it together only these master data, make sure it's collected correctly, because if something is wrong in the master data, your process will not work. So a lot of focus is required on the master data. Specific consultant would be working to explaining the master data, giving the templates to business, collecting the data from them, following up them, explaining them in between what wrong things they have entered, validating their data, and finally pushing all the data into system. One specific consultant would be working only on this part in the projects.